I was getting invited to all of these really fun events, and a lot of them were red carpet events, which I didn't even really know what that was or what to do on a red carpet or why I was on a red carpet, but I thought, well, this is fun, okay. And my first real fashion DIY type stuff started with getting invited to these red carpet events, and I still don't have the budget to go, to Nordstrom's and go buy whatever dress that I would love to get my hands on. So I would just drive over to Forever 21 and go try to recreate looks, and I just started figuring out how to kind of create the look that I liked for less. I'm making it in Hollywood, but doing it all myself. I'm Courtney 6, the how-to girl, bringing Hollywood DIY to you. Hey guys, as you can probably tell right now, I really love flowers. I'm sure you've already figured that out. And this next project was inspired by my husband's band, Motley Crue, or former band, I should say, and their last show ever. After 30-something years together, they played 3 nights at the Staples Center, and the last show was on New Year's Eve of last year. And I threw my husband a surprise after party. He had no clue what was going on. It was so much fun. I invited Lana Del Rey and Laura Prepon from Orange is the New Black. She's so great on that show, such a bad girl. And we had the best time. I did these crazy flower arrangements with lots of unexpected surprises in them, from pineapples to artichokes and Arkansas apples. And I actually got that idea from my wedding and incorporated it into a New Year's theme. Well, hello there. Thanks for being here with me. Surprise. Today we're gonna be talking about floral cascading arrangements, and I'm gonna be showing you how to make your very own. This is my favorite type of arrangement. The scale's huge. They're very regal and royal looking. So let's get started. Here's a piece of floral foam. I got it wet already. This is aqua foam. This is all that I work with because it's the best, and there's 2 different types of floral foam, aqua foam and styrofoam. You don't want to do the other kind, that's for silk flowers and it won't soak up water. So once this is all nice and wet, it's gonna be really heavy. You're gonna put it on top of a plastic plate. I've already cut it down to size, and I'm gonna place my plate on top of it. To start out, we're gonna be using these beautiful roses. You can tell they look a little different than normal roses, and here's why. So here is the normal rose. We're gonna turn this rose into one of these beautiful roses that look like they're fully bloomed. It's basically just pulling out all of the petals. Well, you're gonna leave the middle in, but the outside petals to make your rose twice as big. There's a little version of that, and you can see the difference before and after. And now we're gonna start by placing our ivory roses in. So like I said, it's always best to start with your larger star flowers. So let's see, where do I wanna start? Okay, I'm gonna start right over here, and see how that just stays in the floral foam. And now I'm gonna do a technique called draping. So it is exactly what it sounds like, where you're gonna take, see, this is a little too small, it's just gonna get in my way. You're gonna take your flower and insert it into the floral foam facing downwards. So this gives you a really different shape than you would normally get when you're just working with a vase. So you can see how we're starting to build basically a giant ball. All right. Now look how great it's looking already. So you can see we have a nice round shape going on. Looks a-okay to me. To go on to step 2, which is adding in the same size flowers, so we're still working with large flowers, but now we're gonna use some pretty bright yellows, and these are a pale yellow with a little bit of peach and orange at the top, which are so pretty. So we're just gonna continue rotating and adding in these roses. And we're basically playing a little game of filling in the gaps at this point. Now I'm gonna move on to my bright yellows. It'll add a little bit of sunshine to this arrangement. We're gonna start working with fillers. My favorite thing about playing with fillers is they're very inexpensive. Okay guys, I've gone ahead and added in, basically filled in all the spaces in our arrangement. And I used light pink spray roses, hot pink spray roses, some black dahlias, and tons of filler. It looks even to me, hopefully it looks even to you. It's big and bright and beautiful. And now we're gonna get down to my favorite part of the arrangement, playing around with alternative pieces to really give this an added touch of, I don't know, just some pizzazz. Getting started, look at these beautiful orchids. So normally you wouldn't think an orchid would belong in an arrangement like this, but just wait and see. You're gonna be a little sad. I always get sad cutting orchids because they're so beautiful. So we're gonna just add a certain je ne sais quoi to it and wait till you see how cool this looks. It's really just gonna make it pop. See, already it's adding this cool kind of, I don't know, a little bit of a modern vibe. So we're gonna rotate just like we did earlier with all the flowers. So you can see how nice that's looking already. It could be done now, but it's not because I still have 2 more tricks for you up my sleeve. Now we're gonna move on to succulents. I've glittered out, I've blinged these out, so they're all dry and ready to go, but I'm gonna show you how to do one so you can do it at home, just using my trusty tacky glue spray. I literally live and die by this stuff. I use it all the time. I'm just gonna do it gloves free. Shake it up a little, and I'm just gonna gently coat the outside. Okay, that's a nice, even layer of tacky glue spray. And now it's time for the really fun part. We're gonna add on some bling bling. So, how I like to do this, you can just sprinkle it on. It takes a little longer that way. So I'm gonna take the lid off, have a little glass container here, and dump a little pile into it. This is a really fine silver glitter that I'm using. Just sprinkle it on. And that looks pretty even how it is. I like it coated a little more like this, but you could just leave it with a teeny bit of shimmer. Trying to get all of the angles. And voila. All right, so we have our fully covered succulent. It's very blinged out, it looks cute. Now I'm just gonna cut it right out of the container because if you pull it up, you're gonna get dirt and soil everywhere and it just makes a mess. Who wants that? So let me just cut this out. Look how cute that is. So the question is, how are we gonna now get from point A to point B? Here's the answer, a barbecue skewer. So you're just gonna turn your succulent over. You're gonna push your skewer right into the center. Just like so. Okay, so I'm gonna actually put it right in here by our orchid. Look how cute that is. I'm actually gonna do one more, and then we're gonna move on to the pineapples. I know you've been wondering this whole time, what in the world are miniature? A, have you ever seen a miniature pineapple before? And B, what are they doing up here? And you're gonna see. These are really fun. If you've never seen them before, it's because they generally don't carry them at most supermarkets. I went to Gelson's and I never knew you could do this. I was asking the guy in the produce department and they'll order them for you. Here we go, it's on our skewer. Just keep in mind these are heavier than the succulents. You just want to be careful where you place them. For example, I can't drape it, it's gonna fall right out. So this is a good piece to put at the top of your arrangement. Now you know how to do it. You start with your floral foam on a plate, you add in your big blooms, you pull the petals apart to make them bigger if you choose to. Then you start working with your fillers, making sure to rotate back and forth as you're building to keep everything nice and even. And then I added in my spray roses, a little more fillers, got the shape really nice, added in some black dahlias, and then worked with orchids, succulents, and pineapples. And there you have it. Just be sure to put a water bottle in there to water the floral foam. And these arrangements are always nice to spray if you have a little spray bottle or some Evian to keep them nice and fresh and keeping them lasting longer. On our next episode, we're talking crazy Hollywood cocktail cups. We'll see you then.